Pro-life activists are flocking to Washington, D.C. for tomorrow's 45th annual March for Life. This year's theme is Love Saves Lives. I am happy to welcome two of my favorite analysts, Star Parker, president of the Center for Urban Renewal and Education, and Ms. Grazie Christie with the Catholic Association, who is also a medical doctor. Welcome, ladies.
Hello.
Thank you.
Let me start with you, Grazie. The 20-week abortion ban bill will most likely not pass Congress. Senate is trying to fast-track it. But you're a doctor. Can you explain how doctors know that babies can feel pain in the womb at 20 weeks? And is this widely accepted among scientists?
So scientists know, doctors know that when a baby that can't express himself because he can't cry, feels pain, he has other responses that they can measure, like his cortisol levels, his heart rate, things that we can measure in other beings that feel pain, like animals, without them having to express themselves. Also, when babies are operated inside the womb, they are anesthetized first because the doctor doesn't want to cause the baby pain when the baby's inside. So yes, we know as doctors that babies do feel pain. Star,
do you believe that there should be more support in the Senate? We just talked about this new poll that says 76% of Americans support some restrictions on abortion. What is it, though, that is stopping people?
Well, because people are conflicted. They say that they support limitations on abortion, but then they vote for people that do not support limits on abortion. So when you look at the numbers, Democrats are overwhelmingly for abortion, and so it's very hard to get any of them to vote on any type of pro-life legislation. They want death of that child all the way to even after it's born. So what happens, in particular, a piece of legislation, you may need 60 Senate votes. So to get those extra votes out of the Senate, remember, pain capable passed the House. It's over in the Senate, and the president says he will sign it. So the pro-death operation, if you will, in industry is going to make sure that they keep those Democrats in line to not help with any type of passage of even something like 20 weeks where we know that that child is feeling pain.
There are only 6 other countries other than the U.S. that don't limit abortion past 20 weeks. Grazie, let's move on to doctors and their response. The government now is creating an Office to Protect Conscious Rights of Medical Professionals. What do you expect that the response will be in the medical community?
Doctors are going to be very excited about this. I know we already are, because we do feel that not only from a moral and conscience perspective, but also from the perspective of doctors that need to make the right decision for the patient, regardless of big ideological battles that are going on in our culture. So for instance, for transgender issues, not all doctors feel that those surgeries are the best thing for their patients. They don't want to be forced into doing things that they think are not medically necessary.
Don't you think there'll be a backlash among medical professionals?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, that's one of the things that we're trying to control here in Washington, and people must admire the president for taking such an initiative through the faith-based offices, as we saw even today, where the HHS has decided that, you know what, the religious community needs a little bit of breathing space here. So you're right, there will be a backlash, I'm sure, but now that if they're protected in law, they can have a right of conscience, in particular on these sexual matters.
President Trump, most pro-life president to date, can he move in any way pro-life legislation?
Oh, it's happening already. I mean, when you start, and one of the reasons that there's pressure now on the Senate to bring that vote up anyway on Friday. Hundreds of thousands will be here in Washington again, marching to say it's legal, but it's not lawful in God's eyes. And we just want to remind people of the damage of Roe v. Wade on families, on babies, on our society. And with that happening, the Senate is considering bringing up pain capable. Whether they have the votes or not, they should do it, because you're absolutely right. President Trump, people are surprised at how proactive he is to help the church, if you will, on many of these issues that concern us, including abortion.
He'll be speaking in the Rose Garden Friday at noon, and he'll be addressing all of those marchers. Quickly, before we go, I want to talk about minority communities. You're a Hispanic, you're an African American. Are they targeted specifically when it comes to abortion? Star, start with you.
Overwhelmingly, and we know it. And in fact, one of my dear friends has a project to try to get hearings open to see if it's even genocidal, because we know that Planned Parenthood has deliberately focused in particular communities, Black and Latino communities, making sure that they do everything they can to convince these people that the children, their offspring, are not welcome in this society. And so you're absolutely right. They are, your community as well is being
Gracie,
targeted.
final word for you.
Yeah.
And in you know, the pregnancy centers that take care of pregnant women, instead of offering them abortion, they offer them support. They cater a lot to minority women who find themselves materially challenged during a difficult time. So yes, we have to support all the ways that minority women can bring their children into the world. They're beautiful brown and Black children.
But we're going to end abortion, and maybe in our lifetime now.
That's what I heard from March for Life's President Jeannie Mancini. She wants to not have to march in 5 years, right? All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Star Parker, Grazie Christie.
Thank you.